Welcome guys to Prodigy Gaming. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for coming back. If you saw the first video, hope you enjoyed that. Bit of paladins and also the update on the channel, what you can expect. Today we're going to be getting into the first episode of Prodigy Plays. We're going to be playing Prison Architect. We're going to be doing a 100-day challenge. So if you remember and you have watched the first video, you will know that I said that with the Prodigy Plays series, there will be maybe we'll set challenges if the games don't really have an ending. Prison Architect doesn't really have an ending. It does have a story mode, as you can see, a campaign. But we should be playing to 100 in-game days, seeing how far we can get, how much money we can get by the end. Prisoners, capacity, max sec, maybe mid sec, and all that. So we are going to be seeing how far we can get. So we're going to create a new prison here. Also, these episodes will range in length between, I'd say, 15 and 20 minutes. I'm not going to take up the entire week with a video, but just enough to get a few in-game days in. Don't really have a set amount of days per episode, but I would estimate it will be maybe three, maybe two, between 2 and 5, depending on what games we're playing and how much building we do, etc. And what's going on with that. Going to be playing with the pacifier warden. Also going to be doing a male prison because I have more experience. I'm not as well versed in female prisons. I know they have a few extra rooms. I don't really know how to optimise them well, where to put certain rooms to be most efficient and decrease the temperature of the prison. So we're going to be playing with a male prison. The pacifier to reduce the overall temperature. Kind of an OP warden, but I think it's sort of my favourite one I normally play with. So we're going to play with that. Going to be playing a large prison, so a larger map. Fog of War we're going to keep on. This will mean that if there are no guards or CCTV cameras in the sort of immediate area, you can't see anything in that sort of area, in that sort of squared section almost. So that's going to be interesting, but when I place my guards and my patrols, I'm quite thorough, so hopefully that should aid me a bit here. And obviously CCTV cameras, when we get into slight sort of mid-game, we should unlock, depending on how efficient we are, how money goes, and etc. Generate forests will keep on for the little bit of money you get for exporting logs, and also we can use them in the workshop. Lakes we won't have, nor will we have buildings. Failure conditions we will. Gangs we won't, because I'm not as versed in that. I haven't really touched it too much, to be honest with you, since it came out. I know it's sort of a problem in your prison that you can't really eliminate completely. It sort of persists, but we're not going to be playing with that. Events we are. Weather and temperature we're not, because I'm not really too much of a fan of it. And also you can't have one water boiler like you can with your pump and your like you can with your pump, and then your electric you need multiple ones, but they have quite sort of a big they can take on quite a lot of current before you need a new one. Water boilers, you need several, and the range they can go isn't that big, so I'm not really opting for that, purely because I don't really like the way it works. It's one of the few things about this game I don't really like. Staff needs, we're not going to have one because that's quite a new feature that I haven't even played with yet, to be honest with you guys. Unlimited funds, obviously we're not, and cheats we're not either. So we are going to hit play. It's going to load up our prison, and here we go. So I'm going to come over here. One thing that I'm going to do is I am going to make I can't find it. Actually, I want to make the garbage area one bigger. I'm going to have to search for it. It probably was there. Probably just me being stupid, not being able to see it. There we go. So it means we can have a 2-door entrance. I just prefer it to having the 3-door. So the workers are going to turn up. These are 8 workers that the game will give you at the start of the map when you start it. You also get some bricks, concrete, basically to help with building your first foundation. Some other stuff the game gives you, it will give you a capacitor and a power station. It also gives you a water station as well, but I don't think the truck's turned up yet. That's some more steel, etc. Some boxes, capacitor, power station. I think it gives you a water pump. It used to. I think it used to anyway. No, it doesn't then. Oh no, there we go. 1. It also gives you 20 large pipes as well. Pipes and cable are quite cheap, but it just gives you something to help you start. Capacitors you need to increase the electricity on take to your power station. You just place them around, and water pump station obviously you need for water around your prison. We are going to start off buildings. We start off with 30,000, as you can see up here. This is cash flow, so how much we're making a day. If it's green, that's good, we're making money. If it's not, we need to assess it a bit. Obviously this is days, and we can see actually how long we've played as well in a real-time counter, which I quite like that, it's quite nice. Up here we have bureaucracy, so that's our sort of tech tree for the game where you unlock different stuff. Prison grading, and so you can see sort of reoffenders, paroles, etc. And then the main menu, just brings up the main menu. We are also, actually, now I think of it, going to, just type it in, going to have some storage. This is where we can store sort of logs, etc. Make it quite big, because when we start getting in bigger foundations, any excess materials will be thrown in there. I like to have my storage outside as opposed to inside a room, because essentially I have almost infinite space out here. I have quite a lot. If in theory I could go this entire strip, whether inside I have to keep building rooms. And then also going to have exports, so when we cut down all these trees for the foundations, we can straight up export them, and it will also help in the later game or the sort of the mid game for exporting beds, etc. from our workshop. Make sure that all lines up, which it does. I don't really, because when you unlock land expansion, I don't really intend to build over the side. You can do, I don't intend to though. I'll just go off probably to the back, maybe to the sides as well, but we start off with quite a nice large area anyway, so that's fine. Zoom in a bit, and then so we should start building. Shall we plan first? I think we shall. So walls. Right, in fact, what I'm going to do first, actually, sorry guys, I keep doing this, I know. We are going to make this also a tad bigger. How much should I add on to that? 10, okay. And then when we go deliveries, we're going to add on 10 this side as well. So that all lines up. Foundations. Shall we plan? I don't tend to plan, actually, to be honest with you, in the, what's that? In the normal games on Notepad. So yeah, these are sort of, you find these around the map, they sort of spawn randomly, along with Polaroids as well. As you can see, I don't really have too many. That's going to lag a bit, there we go. I don't really have too many. Same with the Polaroids. Well, I have a few Polaroids. Most of the Polaroids you get from the campaign, so that's why I have more of them. They do spawn around as well. So the prison, we're going to have to start off fairly small, because of the fact we only have 30,000, but it should be enough to get a basic sort of detention centre going. Also, going to want to come in here, going to want to turn off intake for the minute. I'm going to take in mid-sec prisoners, just so it's a bit more interesting. Min-sec don't really do a whole lot. Yeah, min-sec don't do a whole lot. Med-sec will sometimes do stuff, and then max-sec are obviously the most volatile. Base prisoners, you have grants as well, so you have basic detention centre, which I think is going to be the one we're going to take now. So I get a $20,000 initial payment, so straight up front, and then when I complete all the objectives listed, we then get an extra 10,000 for completion. There's a fair few of these in the game, as you can see. There's also 7 more that as we complete these, they'll sort of drop down and come into play. So we're going to take detention centre. I think we can only take 1 for the time being, can't we? Or can we take 2? I don't know. But administration centre is easy. We can take 2. There we go. There's a bureaucracy that allows you to take 3 at once, which is quite handy. So that will show you the jobs that the AI are currently doing as workers, etc. Prisoners, self-explanatory, shows you prisoners. Staff, again, this will show you fire staff as well, and also show you where they are if you mouse over them. So that's what we're going to be doing for the minute. Let's build. We're building brick rather than concrete. Exactly the same price. Just think brick looks a bit nicer. So if we come down, so we're going to want to build just the basic offices. Okay, let's start off with administration centre. So we're going to do 2 offices, a warden and an accountant. So if we go, say, 10 down, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We try and keep it as symmetrical as I can, so that's 22, just remember that, I mean, go across. 22 by 22, no, 22 by 26. That seems like a nice square, but 22 by 30. We have 55,000 as well. Yeah, we'll go for that. So there we go. So our workers are going to come in. We can speed the time up in the corner. This will show you a regime. Up here shows you what the prisoners will be doing, but we need a warden to be able to change that. Time obviously in the corner as well. And now we wait, essentially, for it to be built. I can hire more workers, but I'm not going to, because we need to keep to conserve our money. Actually, let's run through quickly what this bottom menu is. So you have foundations, allows you to build brick or concrete, bulldozer foundation, and then auto lights will auto place lights every few blocks. I tend to leave it on, saves having to place them myself. Some people like it, some people don't. I tend to opt for it. Materials is going to be so you can build brick walls, concrete walls inside of your foundations, floors obviously in here as well, perimeter wall as well, which is nice to go around the whole prison. And then if your guards discover tunnels, you can use this to get rid of them. This is rooms. Press this, it will show you all of them. Press this, it will show you the ones that are sort of going to be the most useful. Ones in white, outlined in white, are ones I need for my grants to complete. So offices, etc. Objects, a whole load of objects. Ones that are greyed out are ones that I need to research in bureaucracy. So there's quite a few items in the game. There's obviously search bars here as well. Staff, again, ones that are greyed out we need to research. You've got things like armed guards, doctors, dog handlers. Also shows you how much they're paid and what the initial cost is. Utilities you've seen, power, water, electric, so where you wire everything to your grid. We have deployment that allows you, again, to assign prisoners. Logistics allows you to control food and laundry and where everything's sort of being, where the services are delivering to and outputting to. Intelligence is good for your, if you have CIs, the confidential informants, or you have, you can track contraband sources. Quick build is so you can just quickly put down stuff. We're going to be building it all from scratch though. Planning, you've seen, is where you can sort of do this, and then you can sort of plan out your various things. Holding right click, by the way, drag and right click, do it with objects and pathways. And then emergencies, you can hire, they cost to hire, and then you can have a maximum of 2, maximum of 3, and maximum of 2 on the map at once. We need to go into objects, we need to get a large jail door, and we need to place it down there, and then that's going to sort of activate this foundation once there's an entrance to it. Give it a minute. There we go. I'm also going to put a foundation off the side. This is going to be our utilities room. It doesn't have to be too big, it has to be big enough. And this can get a staff door right there. And then we will have to wire. You don't have to wire each light up individually. It just has to be sort of in the area. So I'll run power through the walls and a couple of bars up, and then they'll all wire themselves in accordingly. So we use our water pump stations. Our 3-1 can go down. That one can go there. I tend to have power there because the power station can explode, and to my knowledge the water one can't. Or explode, it will catch fire. I can put sprinklers down in here, but it just means if whatever's here, if that goes up, it won't, say, wipe out some office blocks that I'll have here. Which is nice. However, the water pump station has to be wired into the grid. Just click and drag. We'll use the free capacitor we'll get, and we'll also place down 3 of them there. They can be placed on the corners as well and do still have effect. So as you can see, that it creates an extra bar. Each black bar represents the amount of capacitors. There we go. So that should do for the minute. Once we start wiring in a kitchen, we're going to need more though. But that's okay. You can have multiple of these as well on the map, and they'll have different colours. They can't touch. They can be sort of near each other, so it doesn't really matter if I had another power circuit, power station running off. If I had the electrical cable in this area, it doesn't matter if it spreads onto here, it will just sort of overtake it. But the wires can't touch, or it will shut off essentially. And then you've got to find out where your problem is and all of that. We'll then wire a bar up, just 2 bars like that. Starting to spend money, that's okay. So an office, so rooms have certain requirements. Office, we need 4x4, office desk, chair, filing cabinet. It has to be indoors. Obviously, as you see, we're indoors. And 4x4, like that. I think you need 6 offices in total, so we'll just sort of outline them out here. So that 3, 4, 5. I just haven't got enough space. Okay, we'll just do 2 for the minute then. Because we need the warden and the accountant, so that'll do for the minute. And if we come into materials, we can outline these out like that. And then we need staff doors. You can have jail doors if you want, or normal doors. Staff doors obviously only open by staff. Jail doors, you need guards to open them, so if a warden or an NPC that isn't a guard tries to go through, they'll wait, and same with prisoners, they'll wait for a guard to come and unlock it. And the nearest guard will come and sort that out. Staff doors will be just fine for this though. Obviously jail doors are hard to destroy. Staff doors, I think, have slightly more health than normal doors. That might be a lie, but they are more safer in terms of their function than the standard door. Adds an extra line of protection for the staff. So we'll hire the warden. The warden is going to find his office. There we go. Then we get bureaucracy. Welcome to, this is the tech tree. Welcome to the tech tree. So you see, if we get security, we can then unlock all of these: deployment, intelligence, patrols, remote access, loads in here, armory. Remote access is quite interesting. It allows you to set timers on doors. I've never really been able to fully get that working, but maybe we can have a go in this series. And that's about it. So what do we need? Was it finance? I think we needed hire an accountant, which is finance. Yep. So we need finance. That's 500. It takes 5, obviously 5 in-game hours to unlock, and the warden will unlock it. You can stack things up to unlock and back them up, but one person can only research one thing at once. But say I had security and then placed down the security chief, he could then go off and do anything in here, and then the warden wouldn't. So the warden doesn't research everything, he only does all of these immediate things, and then security will obviously do all of these, the lawyer will do these, foreman will do your cleaning, your maintenance, your prison labour, etc. So we will, as you can see, is a percent guide here. We will now get to building our canteen. I think is a good place to start. So canteen, you want to be quite big. You're gonna really suffer if you build a small canteen. So I think this part, we need a kitchen as well. So kitchen being close to deliveries is good. It means they can transport the food right into the kitchen. So up here, when the kitchen expands, up here we might even add doors, etc. So if we go like 2, have a double door to the kitchen. And how wide do we want the kitchen though? That's probably not wide enough. There we go, and then that can go up. Double entries. I apologise for my lack of symmetry as well. I will try as much as I can to keep it symmetrical, but I apologise if it's not. There we go, and then you're gonna want metal detectors as well. So if we do them every 4 blocks, I will do 2 to allow a lot of. And we'll put one there. There we go, to allow a lot of intake sort of prisoners to come into the canteen at once. Gonna want some staff doors on here, like so. In fact, I'm debating actually here we're gonna have normal doors. If I'm not gonna have doors. No, on here we'll have staff doors because it's where the immediate access is. And then on these you won't have doors because when we get prisoners working in our kitchen, it's just easier for them to go through while I'm having to wait for someone to unlock a staff door. The grant has finished. That ding signifies it's done. And then we're able to hire an accountant who will then assume that office there. The grant's done. 5 grand. Now we're going to want to see if we can take another one. Grants. Inmate health and well-being, reform, staff well-being, long-term. Let's go for inmate well-being. So we need a medical ward, 2 doctors, and a psychologist. We get on that. Yeah, 10 grand immediate advance. The psychologist is in psychology there. And they'll need an office, but we can throw that up now. We go rooms. We go to. It should be on this main bit. Maybe it's not. Again, I probably am missing them. They probably are, but I just don't want to spend too long looking for them. I don't want to bore you guys. So we go here like that, and then we are going to want a staff door, a computer desk, a filing cabinet. I've done that horribly wrong. I apologise for that. I'll correct that in a minute. And like that. We can then go and that was my fault. I wasn't aware of what I was doing. Basically what's happened there is I built a wall backed onto each other, so then we can demolish this one and we redo this room. We go office and we go 4x4, there we go, and bring that one down. And that'll be for our psychologist when the bureaucracy finishes. 2 hours left. If you mouse over, it'll show you percent as well. We're also going to need to back up the health, so we can get that grant out of the way. And back to our canteen. So if we have this as our kitchen and this as our canteen. Canteens need a serving table, bench and standard table to eat off of. Kitchens need a cooker, fridge and a sink, and obviously both need to be indoors. If you mouse over them, it'll grey out the map and highlight where you have the rooms. So if I find office, which is there you go, see everything goes grey and those 3 offices are there. It says how many you've got in the box as well. And that's probably a good place to end it, guys. So we'll end the episode here, and next episode, which I'm going to record right now, we are going to populate our canteen with furniture and our kitchen, and hopefully populate our prison with prisoners as well in a few episodes to come. Still need to get this grant out of the way, and then that'll be the end of that. So thank you for watching. Please do give it a like and subscribe if you are enjoying, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you around.